Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all our esteemed members and participants joining us for today's webinar. We are delighted to have you with us as we continue a journey of learning, sharing, and growing together under the banner of Vayah Vikas. Today's webinar on coping with stress and anxiety. In our fast-paced world, stress and anxiety have become common challenges that many of us face. Understanding how effectively cope with these feelings is essential for our mental well-being and overall quality of life. Today's session aims to provide you with valuable insights and practical strategies to manage stress and anxiety more effectively. We are honored to have with us Dr. Ali Khwaja, a renowned expert in counseling and mental health. Dr. Ali Khwaja holds a BTech from IIT and is a member of several esteemed professional organizations, including MIE and MIIM, as well as a PhD. He is a chairman and founder of Banjara Academy, where he dedicates his time as a counselor, mentor, guide, trainer, and writer. Known as Ali the Banjara, he passionately believes in the potential of every individual to improve their quality of life. Dr. Ali Khwaja has authored 30 books and nearly 80 booklets, sharing his insights through various columns and talks. He is frequently invited to speak at prestigious institutions, including schools, colleges, universities, NGOs, and corporates, reflecting his commitment to empowering others. Today, we will benefit from his vast knowledge and experience as he guides us through the intricacies of coping with stress and anxiety. Let's welcome Dr. Ali Khwaja. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you, and welcome to all of you. I liked that slogan because you never stop growing. We keep growing regardless of the number which we call as our age, whether you're 60 or 80 or 90, it doesn't make a difference. But as you grow, along with that, certain worries, certain anxieties, certain ways of stress and tension, that also grows. Because we are taught as we grow older, we should take care of our health, we should take care of our housing, we should take care of our pensions or our income. But we are not generally taught about how do you cope with your well-being, which is primarily to do with your mind. And that is the reason why there are many people who, let's say, you have spent 30, 40 years working in a very, busy professional life, and you retire. Normally, you should be able to say that my stress has now come down because I don't have to rush around. I don't have to get up in the morning and go to office. I don't have targets. I don't have anything like that. So I should be leading a much better quality of life, isn't it? But it has been shown that there are many, many people whose stress actually increases. There is a thing called a trauma scale. And 100 out of 100 in that trauma is the loss of your nearest and dearest, most beloved person in your life. If you lose that person, the measuring tape says it is 100% trauma. In that trauma scale, you will be surprised. There are many people who score up to 70 or 80 when they retire. Even though when you join service, particularly in an organized setup, there is a thing called a superannuation age. So you know very well, I'm going to retire at 58 or 60 or 65 or whatever it is. Exact year, month, and date is known to you. And yet, it has been found that a number of people actually get very stressed out when they get into retirement. This is only one example I'm giving you why we need to be aware of these things. I have done a number of workshops for various organizations, from defense to central government to wherever there's a superannuation age and date. We used to call it preparing for retirement. We now call it preparing for your second career. If you retire at an average age of 60, you are still fit and fine. You are capable of being a contributory member of society for 10 years, 20 years, maybe even more than that. So that means you should actually prepare for a second career. Now, that second career doesn't necessarily have to be taking up a job and earning money or whatever it is, but it is to give a purpose, a direction, an identity. Many people miss out on that. Luckily, or I should say unluckily, maybe, homemakers don't retire. So the husband is extremely busy till he comes to superannuation and he retires and suddenly he's got nothing to do. But what about the wife? She continues working in the same way, whether the husband is in service or whether he is retired. In fact, the other day, one of my friends, her husband retired. So I was asking her, how is life after his retirement? She said, half the income and double the husband. Income has come down to half. And this man is sitting at home the whole day bugging me. Earlier, he used to go away for the whole day. I used to be relaxed and I used to look forward to his coming back. So these are some of the very fundamental, very basic realities of life, which should be actually tackled much before you reach that stage. The same way as we tackle for so many other things. Now, when you know that your retirement is coming, you are not going to be earning as much as you were earning, or you may not be earning anything at all. What do? You start preparing for your financial needs. You say, let me have some capital, let me invest it in such and such place. Some should be growing, some should be monthly income. We systematically do that. Even for our physical health, as I grow older, I may have major health issues. So I need an insurance. I need a good physician who will take care of my needs. I need to have contacts with a good hospital where emergencies and everything is taken care of. We take care of housing. I was earlier living in a company accommodation or I was living in a rented house. Maybe I will not be able to pay rent. So let me have a house of my own so that as long as I live, I don't have to bother about landlords and tenants, rents and all these things. So many other parameters. As Indians, we are also very concerned about our children. So I want to make sure that before I grow old, my children are settled in life. They should be independent. They should be earning. Even if they don't contribute to me, I don't mind. I'll take care of myself. But I do want to ensure that my children are independent and they are able to take care of themselves. So, as I mentioned, the only area which is of neglect is our overall well being. And that well being comes under the realm of mental health. Now, mental health is not a very positive word. Nobody even likes to hear it. Physical health, everybody wants to know. Yeah, I want to maintain my health. I want to do some exercise. I want to know what's the proper nutrition. I want to balance my day. I want to get better sleep. I look at all those things. But mental health, even the word conjures something negative because many people seem to think that there are only two categories of people: the lunatics or insane people and the normal people. It's never like that. There is a continuum of mental health, the same way as there is a continuum of physical health. Okay. So, coming down to the main part of today's session, we are going to be talking about stress and anxiety. That was the topic. But I want to reverse that. I want to start with anxiety and then go on to stress, because anxiety is also one of the contributors towards stress. If I'm an anxious person, I get more and more stressed out. So before I come to dealing with stress, let me first talk about anxiety. Anxiety, please let us be very clear, is not the same as fear or worry. People confuse worry and anxiety. What is worrying? Worrying is being conscious and being uncertain about something which is actually happening. If my health is going down, my spouse's health is going down, I worry, because I say that if this happens, if that happens, if blood sugar levels are high, or if the blood pressure levels are high, what will happen in future? I need to be very careful. I need to manage, isn't it? Anything like that. So worry is very concrete. Fear is concrete. But anxiety is something totally different. Anxiety is worrying about something that may happen. It's not happening. But I start thinking, what if it happens? What will happen to me? Even if there is no indicator that it is happening right now. And that is something we need to guard ourselves. Somebody very nicely put it, that anxiety is the interest that we pay on a loan which we have not taken. Imagine you have not taken a loan, but you're paying interest on it. That is what is anxiety. Supposing this happened, then what will I do? The other day, I was talking to a gentleman who, you remember, some time back, there were massive floods in Chennai and that eastern coast. This gentleman sitting in Bangalore, which is 2,000 feet above sea level and 500 kilometers away from the coast from both sides, was saying, what if we get floods in Bangalore? How will we be able to cope with it? Now, it defies all logic. You know that that is not going to happen. But just because there were floods in Chennai, this person has already started worrying, what if there are floods in Bangalore? That is what I call as anxiety. What may happen has got not only the mental effect of pulling you down, of making you restless, not allowing you to be at peace. All those things happen, right? But along with that, you can check with your doctors. They will tell you, when you have anxiety, your heart rate goes up. Your breathing becomes shallow. Sometimes you start sweating. You become tense in your muscles, and your digestive system takes a beating. Always remember, the digestive system is most vulnerable to any form of mental stress, anxiety, worry. That is the first one which generally takes a beating, unless, of course, you have really looked after your digestive system. If you're one of those people who knows exactly what to eat, when to eat, what not to eat, how to time your intake of food and nutrition, then of course you're safe. But you know that most of us don't do that. And that is why this is what, happen. Now, when you get tense because of anxiety, you automatically start thinking, overestimating the problem. Like I told you, overestimating by saying that, what if we get a flood in Bangalore? There is no possibility of a tidal wave coming onto our eastern coast and jumping up 2000 feet in height and traveling 500 kilometers and coming and flooding Bangalore, isn't it? So that is what I want you to understand. These are the issues which come up if you get that anxiety. Anxiety normally builds up over years. It's not something which happens overnight. Because even if you are getting scared of something possibly happening, if you have that tendency to be anxious, then and then only you feel that anxiety coming in. These are things which we have been dealing with on a regular basis. I have here today with me two of my colleagues. One is our director Purnima. She is here with uh, me, and we have planned out this session together. The other is our counselor Kanaka. She has also been working on these things because we have been, working to decide what would be the best way to present things to you. Now we know by now that any one person giving one long bhashan and people go to sleep. So these people are very enterprising. They connect not by giving lectures and by speaking, but by demonstrating certain things and the impact. The message reaches very, very easily. So here they are with a little bit of a role play. That is how anxiety builds up in some persons and what is the consequence of that.
Hi, Kanaka. Kanaka, first go close the door. Mosquito will come.
Hey, it's okay. No, it's
No,
still.
no, you please close the door. No, 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 mosquito will come. Lot of problem.
It's still 4 9.
Okay, otherwise I will only get up and
Okay,
go.
fine. Okay, okay. God.
Close the door. Nothing. We have to be careful. Mosquito and all that unnecessarily. Let us be careful, no? Can't we be little careful? Just one closing the door, no? Okay, okay. See here already I am in so much of tension. I don't know about my husband, what will happen. So many things is hell. Everything is playing on me, and you are, unnecessarily arguing also over here.
Okay, I know you look like worried, but can I know what is that you're so worried about?
No, about his health. I don't know what will
What
happen.
happened? It's fine. No, I saw him walking actually on the corridor.
No, he was telling we'll eat ice cream or we'll eat some pudding. What if he gets a cold? See, cold will not stop at cold because cold can tomorrow become pneumonia. It can become some major virus. He will get cough, which will not stop only. We don't know, na,
But
Kanika.
the other day told you have enrolled in some programs and he's taking care of his monthly checkups and all. He seems to be so fit.
No, no, आएगा तो. We don't know. What if it comes? We have to be careful. Okay, that is it.
I know there's so much that you are feeling anxious about, but the other day told that you're taking a lot of care about.
No, he is walking. I make him drink detox water also every day. Everything he's doing, but we don't know. No, that is fine. Okay, yeah. I just hope I'll pray to God and I will do. Let everything be. Oh my God.
He's fine.
I'm tired now, so thinking only of it.
Next, see,
Hey,
second scenario.
you went to Bombay.
Yes, I had a good time, and I shopped a lot. You had suggested me some few places in Bombay.
Yeah, but I didn't know when you were going. But Bombay HMPV has come. Hey, bring mask, no? I'm myself thinking whether to wear mask.
Actually, I just need water. I'm okay, actually.
No, no, you drink the detox water. You drink.
No, I'm fine.
I'll give you. Hey, don't sneeze on my face only, like this. It is very scary here. See, COVID, so much of problem we had. Now HMPV also has come. Now with that, if you are sneezing also, I'm only thinking I have to ask Ashish whether to get which mask to get and what to wear and all. Because sanitizer also I am going to buy and keep. Later on, no, later on we will not get sanitizer. I have to buy in advance only and I will keep it on.
Pune, actually, it's been almost 1.5 weeks back. I came from Bangalore. I'm fit and fine.
But still, you are doing coughing, no, little like that.
no,
You
no,
don't know.
it was just because it will dry. I had water. I'm all fine.
No,
actually.
HMPV can come. You know HMPV?
What do you know
Full
about
form.
HMPV? Do you know about HMPV?
No, so much is coming. I don't know social media, this, that. I don't know.
The HMPV is actually highly misleading or misunderstood possible virus. And it is not that is something that is here. Somewhere they are telling, but we are also not sure and we don't know. Let's maybe need to learn more about it.
No, that is okay. But अगर आएगा तो
Now it has not yet come and this I told you I'm actually fine. Actually, no,
no. I think you please take care. Yeah. I don't want to get cold and HMPV and all that. Okay, please.
It's just
See, I might be rude, but you please. I'm very worried. Baba, I don't know. आएगा तो
अभी आया नहीं ना.
बोल नहीं सकता आएगा तो.
And you have been drinking something and all, right?
I don't know. I'm so worried. Very worried. You don't know HMP, ABV, something.
Classic case of anxiety, that is worrying about something which may happen. As she kept saying, I got to, whereas the chances are negligible. Now, this is something which I thought all of us should actually take a vaccine against. You take vaccine for COVID, you take vaccine for flu, you take vaccine for so many things. Can you please take a vaccine for anxiety to ensure that you don't succumb every time to anxiety? Somebody goes to Mumbai and come back and you get anxious that she may have brought HMPV with her. Somebody goes to Chennai and you say there's going to be a tidal wave and a flood and a tsunami over there. Somebody is going out of the house and you say traffic is so bad. The other day I was reading that so many traffic accidents take place. So I'm worried about what will happen to my near and dear. Okay, let me also clarify that there is no genetic element to anxiety. It is not something that you have inherited in your genes. You have built up anxiety if you are talking the way Purnima was talking just now. If you find yourself thinking or talking in that manner, definitely you have become a victim of anxiety and you need to do something from it. Like I told you, it develops over a period of time. So the more you nip it in the bud, the more you become aware and say, these days I'm getting more and more anxious. And let's admit it, as our age progresses, we do become more anxious than what we were in our younger days. Most of us in our younger days used to not hesitate taking risks, used to be bindas, okay, so what will happen? But as we age, we have a tendency to start slowing down, to start worrying more, to start becoming anxious. And that is the reason why I said you have to take a vaccine. Now, this vaccine is not a chemical which is injected into your body. This vaccine can be taken in the form of change in your behavior, your attitude, and your thinking. Start off with simple exercises which increase oxygen to your brain. Do deep breathing. I'm sure most of you have come across different ways and methods, what we call as abdominal breathing or slowing down the breathing to about 7 or 8 breaths per minute, because of which our vagus nerve gets activated. And that is the healing nerve, which brings down your tension and your anxiety. There are ways and means of doing what we call as thought stopping. My child has gone somewhere and I feel that, that place is not safe. I don't know what is happening. He or she is so far away from me. So what could possibly happen? Now, if I find myself constantly thinking about that person just because I love that person, there are techniques of thought stopping. If any one of you wants it, you can mail us. We will send it to you. There's another very nice technique to, overcome anxiety, and that is what we call as the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario means what is the worst that can happen? So the worst that can happen is I will get this HMPV virus because my friend Kanaka went to Bombay and came back, and Bombay has got HMPV. That's the worst that will happen, right? Once you acknowledge that, that is what is causing me anxiety, do some logical thinking. What are the chances that just because she went for 2 days to Bombay, she acquired HMPV? Then what are the chances that she brought it here and is going to convey it to me? So now that I know the worst case scenario, I can start measuring the risk. Yes, if there is a heavy risk, then definitely I should do something about it. I should go to my doctor, find out what I need to do, etc. But when you do this worst case scenario and you try to rationalize, your logical mind will tell you, I'm overreacting. I don't think this will happen. Once you come to that point, start giving yourself positive affirmations. I am healthy. I am fit and fine. I am exercising. I am taking precautions against something bad happening to me. I am praying to God and God will protect me. Positive affirmations on a continuous basis bring about a change in your thinking and attitude, and automatically your anxiety comes down. Along with that, you can look back in history, your own history. When everybody had COVID, did I get? No, I didn't get. Or I got, but it was very mild. Within few days, I recovered and I didn't have any after effects or pain. When other people like me were having heart problems, cardiac problems, have I had it? No, I have not had. Even recently, I got a checkup done with my doctor, and the doctor said that your heart is in a perfect condition. So when I start thinking of the positive experiences or the successes that I had, somebody needs to mute, somebody needs to mute themselves, I think.
I request the members to mute your devices.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay. Still going on. Okay, doesn't matter. We'll proceed. There's another thing which helps you to reduce anxiety, and that is keeping company of positive people. The more you are in the company of these doomsday prophets, no, you don't know. It starts with 2 people and then 20 million people get into it. Didn't you see how COVID had started? Didn't you see how the plague used to be in those good old days? Keep away from such doomsday prophets. Yes, if you have an expert, a doctor, or somebody who can give you advice as to how to protect yourself, do that. But these general people who are negative, please try to minimize your interaction with them. And if you cannot minimize your interaction, if they are very close to you, then what you do is, insulate yourself from that. Tell them, okay, you told me that in Bombay, MPFV or something has come. I've heard you. Fine, we'll talk about it later. Don't sit and listen to them and interact with them and things like that. So if you take care of those things, and one more point I can give you for overcoming or reducing anxiety, and that is think of long-term goals. This is another very funny thing, When you are 10, 15, 20, you have lots of ambition, lots of long-term goals. I want to become an engineer. I want to become a chartered accountant. I want to become this. I want to become that. I want to become a multi-millionaire. I want to be the CEO of a big company. All that we start dreaming. But what happens later in life? What is preventing you from having long-term goals, whether you are 60 or 80 or 90? Nothing stops you, right? You don't know how many years you're going to live. Longevity is constantly increasing. Healthcare is improving. So if you're going to be alive, see, if I'm going to pop off tomorrow, I have nothing to worry about anyway. I'm going. So once I'm gone, there's nothing to worry about, right? But if I don't pop off tomorrow, I don't die next week, next month, next year, am I prepared for what's going to come next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And unless I develop dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and all that, if my brain is functioning normally, it does not even matter how active my body is. In today's era, in this 21st century, the era of information technology, there are people who are completely paralyzed. You have all heard of Stephen Hawkins. He was so badly paralyzed, he could not lift up a little finger, he could not feed himself, he could not talk also. But he is acknowledged as one of the greatest scientists of the 20th century. Why? Because his brain was working. His brain was working far better than the brains of the able bodied people. And to back it up, he had a positive mental attitude. He was very vulnerable. He could die within minutes. He was 24 hours on oxygen support. But still, he said, today I'm alive, right now I'm alive. I am going to be a productive member of society. So if you have some long-term goal, it is not important whether you fulfill it or not. It is your journey which you are going to enjoy. And these little anxieties, what if this happens? What if that doesn't work out? What if I fail in that? That automatically starts reducing. Develop a sense of humor. Many of us become too serious as we grow older. Remember, there is a difference between being childish and being childlike. Nothing prevents you from being childlike. I know many, many elderly people who can entertain their 5-year-old grandchildren, and those little ones dote on them because they are so humorous, they are so light-hearted, they take things in such a positive manner. We also can do that. There are so many ways of doing that. I wanted to give you just one example of that. A little game which Purnima and Kanaka have made out, which doesn't require any physical effort or running around or getting up or something, but it stimulates the mind. Make sure that your mind is stimulated at all points. If your mind is stimulated and develops a positive mental attitude, your anxiety, even if it comes, even if there is a fear that something may happen and all that, the effect doesn't pull you down. So here is this little game. Kavika will take you through it.
Yes. This is a very simple game. So I am going to give some English names. Actually, they are Hindi movie names. So once, for example, I'm going to say something like small talk. Small talk, what could the movie name be in Hindi? It is Choti Si Baat. So in this way, I will repeat the English word 2 or 3 times. So once you get the movie name, you can put it in the chat box. And I request all of you proactively to remember all the good movies. Keep in mind so that that you can remember the names. So here goes the first one, and I'll make it easy this time. Wall, WALL, wall. So I hope I'll get a lot of messages in the chat box about which Hindi old movie this one is. Anybody? Which movie is this?
Check if they have facility to chat.
Divar.
Yeah, we got the answer from Ali. It's Diwar. Okay. I think it's more. This is a very easy one. Chain. Which Hindi movie could this be? Chain. It looks so easy like chain, but Hindi may have you forgotten Hindi words?
Check, Pavitra, we want to check if they can put their answers on chat, please.
Yes, people are putting it.
Okay.
I think we have a few answers already.
Is it
Oh,
we are not, we couldn't see it.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Okay.
good.
Good. Oh wow, good. So,
Zanjeer.
yes, Sanjeev, very nice, Obi. I'll make it even more simpler and the most famous because I myself also found from the very my childhood. My name is Joker. My name is Joker. Anybody? If anyone who want you put on speaker and say it also would be really good to hear you guys.
मेरा नाम जोकर.
Yes, you got it. Mera naam Joker. So we look for more participation. Okay, now the next movie name is Innocent. Innocent.
Masoom.
Yay, good. I think they're getting now. I think they have all the movie names list. They're keeping it ready, I guess. Here comes the next movie name. Path of Fire.
Agnipath.
Oh wow. They're making it so tough for me. Now I think they know all the names. Let's see. We'll see how many of you can get this one. So the next movie name is Faithful. Faithful. It can be 2 words also, not necessarily. It has to be 1 word in Hindi. मूवी का नाम दो भी हो सकता है, दो वर्ड्स, 2 शब्द हो सकता है. So 2 words, faithful. Anyone?
Now you're confusing people.
The brain is working in the right direction. Faithful, so need a clue? Any?
Hints.
The first word is something that we use a must ingredient in the kitchen.
That's 2 words.
Namak halal, namak haram, something.
Yes, namak halal. Correct. Yeah, good points to you. Okay. Yes, Ali.
No.
Okay. Now the next one is very easy. Just translation it requires. Black rock.
Kala Patthar.
Yes. So cool.
Okay, why did we do this? Here it is, we are having this webinar on a serious topic like stress, anxiety, managing these things which affect us so much. And here you have Kanaka making you think of movie names and some such thing. This is a very, very simple but highly effective way of bringing down your stress. And this, as I told you, determines number one, your sense of humor, and number two, it brings out your inner child. You should be childlike, not childish. Being childlike automatically cuts down your age to one-fourth of what it is today. There's this couple whose granddaughter was visiting them, a teenage girl. And the grandfather said, let's take her out for dinner to a five-star hotel. The child and the granny said, we enjoy food in so many small hotels here and there. Why go to some, stuffy, posh, five-star hotel and spend so much money? He was adamant. He said, no, my granddaughter has come. I want to give her a treat in a five-star hotel. Okay, they landed up there. Now, you know what happens in five-star hotels. You give the order and you're sitting waiting for it to come. And it takes time and time and time. They were sitting there getting thoroughly bored.
It comes only tomorrow.
Slowly, what
It
the
comes only tomorrow.
sorry,
It comes only tomorrow. The items come only tomorrow.
I know, yeah. Very true, very true. Very true. Now, what happened was, getting very, very bored, the girl picked up the spoon and fork. There was a glass of water kept in front of her. She started doing ting, 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 ting with the fork. And from the other side, ting, 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 ting with the spoon. Granny saw that. She picked up her fork and spoon and she started doing a jugalbandi with the child. And grandpa got very angry. What is this? This is a five-star hotel. Behave yourself. Don't do that. By the time he was scolding his wife and granddaughter, they heard from the neighboring table somebody doing ting, ting, ting. And then from another table, somebody doing ting, ting, ting. All those people were sitting there waiting for food and not knowing what to do. They suddenly got a bright idea. And there was such lovely music being played, and the time passed off. Now, that is what I mean. The stress of being grumpy, becoming impatient, shouting at the waiter, all that was eliminated by something as simple as that. So, let me start off with explaining to you the concept of stress. First, let us understand that stress is not always bad. There is a thing called eustress and there is a thing called distress. Normally, what psychologists define as distress, we use in common parlance as stress. So if I say I am stressed out, what I am actually saying is my eustress increased and increased till it became distress. Eustress is the good stress. It is the stress that makes us perform. A child who is told on Monday, you have a test. Only 2 days left. He is under stress, but he stops going out to play. He doesn't waste his time. He sits down and studies. So that is how he uses eustress as a means to perform. But supposing that child is told that on Monday there is a test of 10 chapters. Now he knows there is no way I can learn 10 chapters in 2 days. So what happens to him? He gets demotivated. That is where the eustress is converted into distress. So whenever something happens where you feel that I am not capable of fulfilling this stressor, it turns from eustress to distress. And that happens to us every now and then. Let's accept it. Sometimes it is something very small. You have an appointment with somebody important. You've called for a taxi. You did it well in advance. The taxi fellow was supposed to be there in 5 minutes. He cancels. The next fellow says, I'm going to come in 15 minutes. He doesn't even come in 15 minutes. Finally, you get into the taxi and there's a traffic jam. Now, you are a very conscientious person. When you give a time to somebody, when you have an appointment, you like to be punctual. And you realize that I am not going to be there on time. So, when that happens, what do? You get stressed out. The distress takes over. Very natural, very understandable. But the question here is, how do you deal with the situation? There are people who will start shouting at the driver, who will start cursing the traffic, who will allow their blood pressure to go up, who will be extremely worried about what to do, and start visualizing, when I go there, that person will be upset with me. That person will look down upon me that I didn't come there on time. If you start doing that, do you reach there faster? No. But if you are a practical person, if you say, what can I do about it? Maybe I can make a phone call and apologize to the person. Maybe I can call up and reschedule the appointment because I know I'm not going to be there on time. Maybe I can ask somebody who is close by to that person to please go and take charge and do whatever is the needful, well, I may not be able to come. Now, this happens if you allow your stress to be under control. But many of us, unfortunately, do not do that. There was a very interesting anecdote. There was this old lady who had just learned driving. And very carefully, sensitively, she used to drive her little car. She went up to a traffic signal which was red and she stopped. The signal turned green, but by the time her engine had switched off. So she's trying to start the car. You know how many people are? The moment the light turns green, within 10 seconds they want to zoom off. Now here is this poor lady trying to start the car. And there is this gentleman behind who 5 seconds after the light has turned green starts honking. Bah, 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 bah. The more he's honking, the more flabbergasted she's getting. And she's not able to start the car. And this man is getting angry. He's blowing the horn. She got up, came out of the car, went up to the gentleman and said, excuse me, sir, can you please start the car for me? I will sit in your car and blow the horn for you. Now, this is what I'm trying to tell you. That this person has got stressed up for no rhyme or reason. What is the worst that will happen? The vehicle will not move. 90 seconds later, the signal will turn red. You'll have to wait for another 2.5 minutes before the signal turns green. So totally you have lost 3.5 minutes in your journey. So what? So this is what I want you to, understand, that we need to be aware of our stress levels. If I am getting impatient, if I'm blowing my horn, if I'm, getting irritated with people, if I'm losing my temper, it is a very clear indicator that I have allowed my stress levels to go up higher and higher. And I need to do something about it. But the interesting thing is, I will do something about it if I admit that I'm under stress. The saddest people are those who refuse to admit, no, I can handle any situation. I am experienced in this. I have spent so many years doing that. I don't get worried about all these things. I can handle any situation. When you start thinking that way, you are actually allowing the stress to pile up. There is no harm in admitting and saying, yes, I am a competent person. I do handle a lot of difficult situations. But as of now, for whatever reason, I am getting stressed out. My stress levels are increasing. That is the first parameter before you can actually tackle stress. Once you admit to yourself that my stress levels have gone up high, I identify what is the effect that the stress is having on me. Like I told you about anxiety, stress also affects the body. One of the most common thing is blood pressure. People who are under stress, their blood pressure keeps shooting up. And as you know, blood pressure is called a silent killer. You don't even know sometimes that your blood pressure has gone up. And if it is continuously going up, it can have a major effect on you. So I need to check out how is it affecting me, so that first I can, remedy the symptomatic thing. So symptomatically, whatever is happening, I work on bringing down those parameters. The next step is to look for the source of the stress. Where did this stress come from? This stress came to me because I ran into some financial problem, or my health is not okay, or I came to know that my child is going through some problems in either office or in marriage or whatever it is. So identify. Once you identify where the stressor is coming from, you can look to see whether you can change that stressor or not. Can I practically do something about it? If I can, then I should focus on doing that. That should be my first step. Can I, in some way, bring about a change in the factor which is leading to my increase in stress? Sometimes it's possible. Like I gave you the example of being late for an appointment. I can request my friend who stays close by to please go across and help that person to do whatever was to be done, because I will take another half an hour to reach there. Or I can call that person and say, please reschedule the appointment. If you have other work to do, please go ahead. You would give me a convenient time. Next time I'll see to it that I'll be there on time. So wherever it is possible to tackle the stressor, go ahead and do it. But there are instances where it is not possible. There's nothing you can do. It's beyond your control. When it is beyond your control, you accept it. There is a wonderful thing called the serenity prayer. You must have heard about it. The serenity prayer goes like this. It says, God, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The serenity, the peace, the solace to accept things which I cannot change. The courage to practically do something to change the things which I can change. And most important, the wisdom to know the difference. Whenever I'm hit with a stressful situation, can I look at it rationally and truthfully be able to label out that this I can change. This I cannot change. Now, if your stress level is already high, your wisdom goes down. When we are under stress, what we do is we get into the fight or flight syndrome. Either we want to attack, we become aggressive, we become dominant, or flight, that is, run away from the problem. That happens very often if you're in high stress. So be aware that I will not allow that stress to hamper my decision making ability. I will take a break. I will relax. There are so many ways of relaxing. I need not tell you, I'm sure all of you have got some proven and successful means by which you de stress yourself. Now, if you can de stress and then think of what are the options, you can do a much better job. So, here again, Purnima and Kanaka are going to come in to show you a quick, small role play as to how you deal with stress.
Hi. Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just knees are paining here nowadays.
old age, what can you expect more?
I know. Little, when I'm walking, it goes creaking, creaking. No, I'm doing activities and all also.
Did you go to the knee doctor that I had told?
I was not sure how much he's charging and whether he is good. So I was not sure whether what to do. So
I give you one oil, you apply, it will be fine actually.
yeah, but some oil don't suit me. Then I get rashes also. I'm not sure if I put no, then it aches and like that.
You should actually go to the park and walk. You will be roaming all around the house.
Yeah, but house only when I'm seeing no, I'm covering 5,000-7,000 steps only up and down.
That is why this is happening. You should walk in a flat surface and you should have shoes and everything. What is this, man?
But house is flat only. That Mrs. Chawla is also walking like that only. She's fine, no?
Yeah, but this is Gargar ki kahani. Don't you think at old age this happens?
I don't know what is the use
What
of
is-
speaking to Kanaka at all.
I also don't understand. Again, every time you.
One small thing I'm telling, but so much she's advising. Then she said, do this, you are doing this wrong, you are doing this wrong. Such a young girl at this age, I have to keep on listening to some as if I am only in the wrong all my life. What to do? Hi, Kanaka.
Hi.
I'll make a cup of tea for you.
Yeah, but can I help you?
Yeah, do that. My knees are aching
Oh.
today. I don't know, maybe the weather or what, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
And Rahul also has not called me for more than a week. See, let him be. He's here only in India now. He can at least call me.
Looks like there's a lot of worry for you.
Yeah, I'm little worried because Delhi they are saying it is very cold and he is little
Okay.
prone to cold, no?
Yes.
So little concern I'm having. I don't know what to do.
Looks like that you've been thinking about Rahul and about your health as well. So there are a couple of things that
Yeah.
you're trying to understand how to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because health-wise also I don't want to fall sick. I don't want to give him any trouble. I don't want to bother them, no? They are growing up in their career, but still sometimes you need little help. So I'm just thinking what to do. Little worried I am.
Okay. So you said that worry and about your health. Can you know what is something that you're upset about your health?
Oh, at least you're asking. Everybody will keep on advising me. No, I think maybe I'm not walking right. And maybe I need to wear shoes, it'll give me firm thing. Sometimes I go like this, like that, it happens.
Okay.
So then, maybe that's why I think my knees are hurting. But see, Rahul also told me there is a conference. No, ma, I cannot come. I will not be able to call you. He's sending WhatsApp messages. I'm happy
Wow.
for that. He's doing very well. He's the keynote speaker. A lot of good things are happening. But somewhere I want to listen to his voice, no? Yeah, that's what it is.
Bhuta, I think you understood, like, how important it is to have shoes, and you have been thinking about how to keep your health for yourself, and you want to be there for Rahul, and trying to understand how busy his life is. That's a very good thing for me. Really
Yeah,
happy.
good you came. You sit. I will make tea for you. Okay?
You told about the knee pain?
No, no, no. Slowly, slowly, I will walk. You gave me
Okay.
motivation.
Oh.
Thank you, Kanaka.
Thank you for
Thank
me.
This is how, one can look for ways and means to bring down the stress, to be able to tackle situations which apparently seem to be out of your control. Please remember that stress is very individual. One person does something and does not feel the stress. Another person does exactly the same thing and gets stressed out with that. One person says, I have to go to the bank and check out this and my investments and something. I don't know how to do internet banking. So I have to go all the way to the bank. There are so many people there and it takes up so much time. I get very disturbed and my stress goes up. I don't know whether that bank is cheating me. Now you see what situation that person has brought himself in. Another person says, nowadays you have internet banking facility. You don't have to go to the bank every now and then. You can sit at home and do it. No, but how do I do that? I don't know how to operate this. You can learn, no? Oh, what at my age you expect me to learn? What has age got to do with learning? And if it is a learning which is actually going to reduce your workload or your tension or whatever it is, it's a one time thing. Why don't you think of doing that? So that's what I meant by saying that stressors vary very significantly from person to person.
Ali, if I can just add one thing
Yeah,
which you
sure, sure.
mentioned, and I think that was so thought provoking, that be with people who give you the right vibes.
Yeah,
No, in the first situation, I felt that I was being criticized. My problem was not being focused at all
yeah, yeah.
by anyone, and I was like, oh my God, did I do a mistake by even opening my mouth?
Correct.
No, whereas in the second, I felt very accepted,
That's
as if she's really giving me some nice positive vibes, Ali. No,
be aware if you are judgmental about people outside your immediate circle. Maybe because we feel vulnerable because we are old, maybe because we have had bad experiences. Sometimes we get into that mode. A new neighbor moves in to your neighborhood. If somebody asks you, how is that person? Have you met her? You say, no, I don't want to meet her. I don't know what type of person she is. Unless you meet, how will you know? And if you do meet and find that she's not a very good person, you can always back off, no? Nobody is going to force you to socialize with her. But unless and until you are open to new things, to change is coming in very rapidly. Unless you anticipate change and adapt to it, you will be left behind. And when you are left behind, you start feeling helpless, your stress goes up. You have not learned how to do banking from your laptop. You have to go every time to the bank, and they are not very hospitable to you, and there are big crowds and all that. Your stress is going up for no rhyme or reason. Anything like that, look for change. Anticipate what change is going to come in and adapt to it. Also remember that the mind and body are interconnected. A healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and a healthy mind promotes a healthy body. There's a lot of research and evidence to show that even when people fall sick, if they have a positive and a healthy mind, they recover faster. They get back their health. Their immunity is good. They can resist infections which other people succumb to. So keep both these things in mind. Also remember to allow your body to give you signals and warning. What was Purnima saying? My knees are giving me trouble. But what is she doing about it? Nothing. Maybe it is because of the weather. A very generalized remark, and you have given up. If somebody asks also, what are you doing about it? What, my, at this age, it is natural. No. There are 100-year-old people whose knees don't give them trouble. So you can't just say because of age, I have to suffer with knee problem or any problem for that matter. But if I am active in that, if I try to find out what exactly is the cause, I can do something about it. So listen to the signals and the warnings which your mind is giving you. There's another very funny thing about stress. We normally presume that when you are overworked, you are under stress. But a lot of research has concluded that people who have too much leisure, who have nothing to do, they are sometimes more stressed out. The very fact that I don't have anything to do causes stress to me. There was a time when I used to work, I used to be busy morning to evening. I used to go to office, then do something. My day used to zoom off. Now I'm retired. I don't have work. Even as a homemaker, I used to be extremely busy. Now children have grown up and they have gone. Now there's nobody else, and I have just minimal work. And I have excellent domestic help, whom I've trained over the years. So I don't need to give them instructions. My house runs like clockwork. Nothing requires much of intervention or supervision. So what do? I get stressed out. My self-esteem goes down. I start thinking that I am not worthy because I don't have anything to do. As long as my children were dependent on me, I had to get up early in the morning and rush around. I used to feel very nice about myself. Now I feel, what's the purpose of my life? What am I achieving? Who needs me? Nobody needs me. Now those type of things can be very serious stressors. So like I was telling you, anticipating change. Today I have, let's say, my grandchildren with me. Tomorrow they will grow up and they'll go away. What am I going to do after that? Today they keep me so busy. Tomorrow they will not be at home. I will not have anything to do. So can I build up alternative activities? Can I do something different? Just to give you one example, we have this small NGO called Helping Hands. In 9 different hospitals of Bangalore city, we provide, a sort of helping service to patients and their relatives. In most of the hospitals, in the OPD or the entrance lounge, there is a desk with a board which says, "May I help you?" And our volunteers, turn by turn, go there and sit down, particularly in the morning hours, which are the most busy hours in any hospital. So one volunteer says, Monday 10 to 1, I'm there. Another volunteer says, Tuesday 9:30 to 12:30, I will be there. What do? There's an illiterate person who cannot fill up the form, they fill up the form for them. There's a person who comes and says, my eyes are giving trouble, I don't know which doctor, where to go. They guide them, you go in such place. Somebody comes and says, I have brought my father, but he cannot walk inside. What do I do? They guide them. Wheelchair is available at some such place. Go and tell them they will give a wheelchair for your father. Somebody comes and says, I came for that doctor, but I'm told that doctor is not there today. They look up the chart and say, no, the doctor doesn't come on Fridays. He's here on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So you come on those days. Now, is that some very great work? No, anybody can do it. But the fact that you are doing it altruistically, you are doing it without any expectation in return. You are doing it for people whom you don't even know. They will not even come back and say thank you to you. They'll move on with their life. That gives tremendous satisfaction.
Ali, today, coincidentally, our helping hand volunteers are at Kaban Park. I think around 10 to 20 of them are at Kaban Park.
Yeah.
Helping Vayah Vikas in a project for the Ayushman Bharat
Yes.
cards.
Yes.
So they're all over there having a good time, helping people and getting it done. So.
They enjoy themselves. They feel more physically fit. They look forward to going there. They call up each other and say, don't go away, I'm coming a little late. We'll go to the canteen and have a cup of coffee together. Their social circle builds up with people who are like-minded, who are service-oriented. And that, such simple work, gives them a sense of satisfaction. The reason why I'm telling you this is to help you to understand that there are many, many, many ways of keeping yourself occupied, of finding good things to do, of making your life meaningful, even with simple things. For example, in helping hand, there's no commitment. You decide today that from tomorrow I'm not going to come. Thank you. We'll get somebody else. So there's no stress. There's no commitment or responsibility. But because there's no stress, because there's no commitment, people are doing it for years and years and years. People well into their 80s, nearing 90, they are also continuing to do this little service. These are the things which we need to understand by bringing in a change in lifestyle. If you love your children or your grandchildren, but they don't live with you, they get better career opportunities, they move off into a different city or even a different country. You love your children and grandchildren, they live under the same roof with you, but they're very busy. You tell them, come and sit with me and talk to me. They say, no, I'm busy. I don't have the time. Now it's up to you to get stressed out, feel miserable, feel lonely, or it's up to you to say, I'm so happy that they are busy. They have found their direction in life. They are independent. They are doing things which they enjoy doing. Let me look for company somewhere else.
Ali, you recollect that Marathi movie Pimple? Maybe you should tell them about it, and also about Pravas, no?
Yes.
So
Pravas was another wonderful
yes.
movie where this gentleman who is retired one day finds that a person who needs an ambulance and the ambulance doesn't come. He feels so bad, he converts his own car into an ambulance and gives pamphlets all around in the locality that anybody needs somebody to be taken to the hospital, to be brought from the hospital or whatever it is, call up this number and I'll come. And the anticipation that I may get a call, that itself keeps him agile and active. He gets up in the morning and he says, finish our breakfast fast, because if I get a call, I'll miss my breakfast. I have to go. I have to keep my car in a good condition because the car should not break down. These are all wonderful ways in which people have found direction for themselves. And these are the practical, simple, but very effective ways in which people have ensured that they lead a stress free life. And in doing this, I have a word of caution. As you are aware, loneliness has become one of the greatest epidemics of mankind. People, even very young people, are feeling emotionally lonely. There is a concept called LTL, living together loneliness. You're living in a house full of people, but you're feeling more lonely because emotionally you don't connect to them. Each one seems to be busy. There was a time when 5 people used to sit on the dining table and carry out a lively conversation eating dinner. Today, 5 people come to the dinner table, 4 of them come with their mobile phones. And they are so busy on their mobile, they don't even look up and acknowledge you. Now, this is contributing more and more towards loneliness. But here again, if you anticipate and start working on it, you can reduce your loneliness. There's this wonderful gentleman who was sharing with me the other day that in my colony, I know everybody, I've lived there for decades. When I retired, I started calling up on those people and chatting with them, asking them, can we do something? He wanted to have a tree planting, mission taken up in the locality and all. He found nobody's interested. People started saying, old man is retired, he's got nothing to do, he comes and bugs us. We are busy people, we don't have time for him. He felt very sad. He felt very lonely that in the same locality where I lived for so many decades, nobody seems to care for me. But you know what happened? One day he was going for his evening walk, and there was a stray dog who started following him. He turned around and told the dog, nobody is interested in interacting with me. Why are you following me? And the dog wagged his tail. And he felt so nice. He started petting him. He started walking with him. Sometimes he would come back home and tell his wife, have you got any leftover food? Let's give it to this dog. And he says, now that fellow has brought his girlfriend also. When I step out of the house to go for a walk, there are 2 dogs waiting for me. And I feel so warm. I feel so loved. I feel so cared for. Unconditional love. Once in a while, they may give some leftover, but when they don't give, also they walk off happily. Now, this is the way to ensure that you do not get stressed out. You do not get into that tension of life, and then life looks very, very miserable if you do that. If at every step, even when you're complacent, there is no need for a change. If you bring about a change when there is no need, keep adapting to newer things. You make sure that you are not addicted to the screen. Because when everybody else seems to be with their mobiles or their laptop, it's very easy to get tempted and say, okay, I will keep watching some social media or some OTPs or this or that or whatever it is. Please resist that temptation. Have that warmth of the human touch wherever you get it. And I can ensure that your quality of life will not only remain okay, it will actually improve as the years go past. That is a very simple message I wanted to give you. We will be meeting again. Vikas has said that we will have these type of webinars periodically. I would welcome suggestions, comments from you people, whatever you feel you would like to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you over to Purnima to wind up this session with a few important points which you can have as takeaways from the end of this webinar. It's been a pleasure interacting with you, and I look forward to again, interacting with you whenever the opportunity presents. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor. I request the members to please take the poll.
In fact, when Kanaka and I did a role play, basically what we also were trying to communicate is that at Banjara Academy, I had put up the numbers. We offer free counseling. So sometimes it may happen that the person must be in good faith and for your well-being only, must be, without realizing, advising you or maybe criticizing you, which does not go in good taste with the conversation that is leading on. So in such situations, it may be a good idea to seek the services of a counselor. So you can choose to have a face-to-face counseling. Come down to our academy. We'll have a hot cup of tea, and I'm sure one of our counselors will be more than happy to meet up with you for a face-to-face counseling. The issue might be something very simple, something very small, does not matter. Usually that's what people say, hey, this is such a small issue. Why are you making such a big fuss about it? Does not matter. It affects you. It does not make you feel very peaceful. Please come down to the academy. If you feel that, coming down all the way could be a little difficult, you can even call us up on the phone, and our counselors will be happy, to suit your, the timing that suits you, the day that suits you, and also the language that you may possibly prefer. So we can do that. If you are the person who writes, then you can write a mail to us. And if you think that, hey, no, I think I'll just try to make myself self-sufficient, then you have a lot of articles on our website. It's all in the free domain. Many of them are written by Ali. There are many videos by Ali on various topics. So, sometimes you can just go through it. While you go through these videos, or you are, reading something, you have an aha moment, right? Suddenly, like a flash of knowledge, things strike and a whole turnaround happens. Whatever suits you, please choose that. And we at Banjara will be there for you. And in fact, go through our website. There are nice articles of interest. It may possibly, suit you. So that's where we are wishing you again a happy new year, and for the upcoming festival. So over to Vayah, Vikas.
Thank you. It was an informative and enjoyable session. I'm sure all of you had an fun time with the activities. I thank our energetic members for joining us and enthusiastically participating in the webinar. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Ali Khwaja and Banjara Academy for sharing this expertise with our member.